I guess I discovered this morning that the police chief in Whitesboro was only 45 years old. That's just terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible all the way around.
So talk about him if you could.
Well, Jason's really, he was a consummate police officer around here. He's been the rock at that police department for a long time. And he was the second in charge forever under Nick Haifa as a sergeant, and basically the de facto chief when Nick wasn't around. And he's really taken on that role when Nick retired a couple years ago. He's done a good job. He's been a mentor to many police officers around here, not just the Whitesboro Police Department, but many other departments as well. When we had the tragedy with Kevin, Jason was just a rock for a lot of people and a lot of different, his own agency and the public in general.
Yeah.
He gave an unbelievable talk at Kevin's funeral, and I told him afterward how much it meant, because it really came from his heart. It wasn't something he was sitting there reading. It was something that just came out of his heart. That's the kind of guy he was.
Yeah. 45 is so young.
Yep.
Just it's very, very sad. So especially in these times right now where there's so much controversy around police activity, and we were talking about how polarized the country is. These are times where you can take a look at somebody that really cared about his community and really worked towards being there for everyone. Talk about that just a little bit.
Yeah, Jason was a cop's cop. He was a street cop at heart. Even though he was the chief, he was still out there handling his calls and the issues in the village. The village was his world. Outside of his family, we adored, and that village was. He really loved his job. He was. He's said many times that he always thought he was a patrolman, and he absolutely loved his job. And I don't know anybody in the area that he's ever dealt with, either professionally or personally, that had anything negative to say about him or how he did his job.
Well, as we said, it was and we all have to take a look at this. It could happen to anybody at any time. It was a sudden, unexpected cardiac arrest, and the police chief in Whitesboro, Jason Buley, has passed away at the age of 45. Dave, thanks for sharing your story about Jason.
Thank you, guys.
All right. That is Dave Olney. It's very sad, right?
It is. It's terrible. Anybody to go that young. I mean, I bemoan the fact that my uncle had passed at the age of 70 from COVID. And if you looked at the genetics of the family, he probably had at least 15, maybe 25 years left. To go at 45, it's clearly just a horrible tragedy.